It is my biggest pleasure and schus to be able to have Harav Zecharia Resnik to join me for 5 minutes. It is within a half an hour to Shabbos in Yerushalayim, Ir HaKodesh, where Reb Zecharia is located. And I am here in the United States. We are davening, we are learning, we're doing everything we could to be able to show the Yerushalayim that we care and bring an end to this terrible time. Reb Zecharia, maybe share with us, what are you up to? How's your family doing? I see you're holding your child. You're still saying your shiurim. The shiurim are still coming. Tamidim, Kisidron. So what's going on with you?
So Baruch Hashem, we here in Yerushalayim, I'm definitely not Amanda Elmer to share any deep words of Torah or whatnot with the world at large. I can share what I heard from my Rav. He said about Yerushalayim specifically that im Hashem lo yishma ir shav shakad shomer. If Hashem doesn't watch the city, so the shomer is nothing. So we can have all of our physical shomer around, but Hashem really has his eye out on Yerushalayim. So Baruch Hashem, we do feel a specific and a unique protection here in Yerushalayim, but Am Yisrael is all united and we all feel everyone's pain. And specifically now, it's a very interesting feeling. I've been through a number of wars over here in Eretz Yisrael, being here for 15 years. And there's something different about this time where I feel as I walk in the street that all of Am Yisrael truly is connected with each other. And, maybe you walk down the street and you look at a Yid who looks different than you and you feel different than him. Now you literally feel like every single person, you're just brothers, no matter how he looks, who he is, where he lives, and what his story is. So it's something special in Yerushalayim that we have that feeling and we're all connected to everyone around. So.
Okay, so I'm glad to hear. What could you tell the many thousands of people that listen to your shir? There are people who listen to your shir as their primary daf. There are people who listen to your shir as a preparation for the daf. There are people who listen to the shir to chazer for the daf. As actually, someone sent me an email yesterday thinking that how many chayalim, there are people who do daf yomi, who perhaps now can't do daf yomi. They said maybe we could suggest that people learn the daf a second time, right? So there shouldn't be bittul Torah for the chayalim. So if you're doing that daf the second time, please listen to Rabbi Zecharia Resnik shir. You'll get it very quickly, concisely, and clearly. But what could you share a message right before Shabbos, Bereshis, in Yerushalayim to the world?
Beautiful. So as I said before, that I really don't feel right to share any of my own thoughts. So I'm just going to share a little bit of what my Rav shared with the Rav Shmuel Zucker Shlita shared with the community and with the Olam that came, post Yantif. We had a kenes together. It was very beautiful. And we really had this whole talich of the past, month and change. We had Elul, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot, and then we finally hit the day of Yichud, which is Simchas Torah, Shmini Atzeres. In Eretz Yisrael, it's the same day. In America, in Chutz La'aretz, it's split up into 2 different days. But it's really that day of Yichud, and we know the Chazal tell us that Hashem says, make a small Suda for me. I just want a small Suda. It's just me and you, and we always compare it to the Yichud room, where it's just the Chassan and the Kala, and there's no guests, and there's no parents, and there's no photographer, there's no one. It's just the Chassan and Kala, so it's just us and Hashem dancing with Hashem, which is dancing with the Torah. And someone came into that Yichud room, and someone disturbed that Yichud room. And the pasuk says, "Oyev Hashem sinura." If someone truly loves Hashem, then they hate what's evil. And what's evil? Evil is someone who hates Hashem. And coming into the Yichud room between us and Hashem, that's Ra. That's somebody who hates Hashem. Our job is to strengthen the Yichud between us and Hashem. Mitzvahs, Torah. When we do them, we should realize what we're doing and why we're doing it. When we're sitting down and learning, often we sit down and we open up a Gemara and we forget why we're learning the Gemara. We forget what we're doing when we're learning the Gemara. We realize that we're connecting to the Eibishter. We're connecting to the Torah, which is Hashem. As we know, the famous Zohar, Yisrael, Vayraisim, Kudshabrichu Chadhu. Everything's together. It's all one. It's all the same. And we're learning Torah. We're learning with Hashem. We're sitting with Hashem. We should just remember that when we're actually doing it. Achdos. Sadly, but Baruch Hashem, the situation created a beautiful, beautiful achdus in Am Yisrael all over the world. We see Yidden united. There's been so many videos going around and so many stories going around how every faction of Am Yisrael is helping everyone else. There's been hundreds of thousands of dollars donated and hours and food. What's going on here in Eretz Yisrael? Things being sent from Chutz La'aretz to Eretz Yisrael. There's just the other day, there was a barbecue in French Hill, which is right near Yerushalayim, which is right near me and Ramat Eshkol, for 200 soldiers that are stationed in French Hill. They're not even on the border. And, people tend to forget about the soldiers that are protecting us, even though they're not on the border. And they're just sitting there in French Hill, which is really right on the edge of a fairly, technically dangerous area. And they needed tzitzis, and they needed love, and they needed care. Someone arranged the barbecue for them, and there was music, and there's so much achdus, and it's so beautiful. Let's remember that the real achdus, the real yichud, is when we're connected, and we connect that to Hashem, to our relationship with Hashem. Connecting this with Parshas Bereshis, it's kind of easy, because Bereshis is the haskalah. And as we always say, kol haskalah is kashos, and this highlights that in the best and saddest way possible. Kol haskalah is kashos. Often a new Zman in yeshiva, winter Zman, starts out with a bang, it starts out with a knack, everyone's excited, we're getting into it. And over here, it started out with a bang, but not the type of bang that we would have liked. It's the kol haskalah is kashos type of bang. However, as we always see throughout history in Am Yisrael, anytime we get a patch from Hashem, there's an incredible growth that comes out afterwards. Shimshon Pincus said, I think it was in the year 2000 he was recounting what happened in the days of the Shoah and the days of the Holocaust, that we saw what a terrible patch Am Yisrael received, but afterwards, the explosion of Torah, Maistes, Beis Yaakovs, Chesed organizations, Koilalim, yeshivas, so many people sitting and learning, incomparable to what was in Europe before the war. And it's the same thing now. Sadly, we have the situation that we're dealing with, but the bright side of it is that there's so much achdus, there's so much that we're going to be able to build from here, so much that we can reconnect in our connections of Am Yisrael, of achdus, which sometimes is difficult, especially in Eretz Yisrael. We have the different political factions that can sometimes cause friction between the different Yidden. Here's a perfect opportunity for us to rebuild in our achdus between brother and brother, and rebuild with our connection to Hashem, that real yichud with us and Hashem. And this haskalah, although it was difficult, shall hopefully bring to an amazing winter Zman, and of course, what we're always looking for, the Gula Shleim of Amitas B'Meher V'Yameinu.
Amen. Thank you so much for those beautiful words. As you were speaking, what comes to mind is, if we could pull up every listener to Rabbi Zecharia Resnik Shir, and take it even further, Daf Yomi learners, put them on a screen, you would see that achdus. You would see faces, you would see people that look different, cover different communities, dress differently, have different size and color yarmulkes, and they're all together on that one big screen learning Hashem's Torah. That is Kudsha V'Iraisa Chadu. We're all one, and especially people that are learning together, are learning Torah, although we don't see each other because we're just listening on a platform and different platforms, but that connects us. And as you said, if you think about that, while you're doing that, that certainly is ma'orer, a tremendous rachamim. We should be zeicha to meet again in good times with good messages. Thank you very much. And have a wonderful Shabbos.
Have a wonderful Shabbos, everyone. A wonderful Shabbos.